There is a particular mindset that I see across the entire gym space, whether you are a gym bro, weightlifter, or you're a calisthenics athlete. And I see this a lot, especially the people in my community who are trying to get anime physiques and become more confident. And this mindset is probably one of the most destructive, toxic mindsets you can have. And unfortunately, 90% of people have it. So in this video, I'm gonna show you what that is, how you can identify if you're using it, and some practical solutions on how to stop using it and start developing a better mindset. Oh, and by the way, welcome to Weave Talk. Back when I first started working out, I was in a very, very low place in my life. And all of that stemmed from being broken up with, being largely insecure about every part of myself. I was insecure about how I looked based on my physique, based on what clothes I wore, how my hair looked. I was insecure about how I spoke, how I was around people, and how intelligent I appeared on paper and in front of people. Basically everything was telling me I'm not enough, I'm not adequate, and if I don't do something about it, then I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. That's what it felt like. And so what I did was I took those feelings of, okay, I'm not good enough, I'm not proud of myself, nobody likes me, nobody thinks I'm handsome, nobody thinks I'm smart, nobody thinks I'm this and that. Okay, I'm gonna show them wrong. I'm gonna prove them wrong, and I'm gonna start getting into really good shape. I am going to invest in myself, take control over my life, and start blasting my muscles with sweet, sweet calisthenics training. And oh boy, did that work. Now, from what you can see, it turned into something pretty good, right? But what people don't see is, this is gonna sound super edgy, the demons, the absolute demons that were inside my head. I was in between two states. One of absolutely hating myself, and two, using that hate to destroy my body with exercises and trying to become something else. And whenever I looked myself in the mirror and saw, it's not working, something's not working, I'm not good enough, that just fueled the hate even more and more. Daytime, I was absolutely insecure and I didn't know how to feel. And then nighttime, when I was at home, I was basically exhausting myself to the bone trying to work out and build myself. And on days when I didn't feel that emotion of insecurity, it was hard to get into the actual workout itself. So I had to force myself to be like, okay, hatred, that she broke up with me and she's gonna regret it. Oh, she's gonna regret it. I'm gonna become so big. It was a cycle over and over for years because all of this wanting to change myself was out of self-hatred. And since I was going through this cycle, I basically never gave myself rest as I was putting my body through hell. Next thing you know, there's no rest. There's no ability to give the body some time to heal. It starts to break. I get injured. And as I was sitting there, not able to work out, feeling even more sorry for myself because I can't do what is making me feel better about my insecurity, I then started to realize maybe my mindset is wrong and this is more destructive than good for my anime physique. So not only was I not working out, my physique, my muscles were withering away as I was sitting there doing nothing, and I was even more sad. And from that point, I realized that my mindset, it was all wrong, and I knew that there had to be a better way. What I didn't realize was this whole time, I was in a state of mind and mindset where I was using something called toxic fuel. So what is toxic fuel? Toxic fuel is using a motivator to get you from point A to point B. But that motivator itself is destructive. So this includes feelings of anger, shame, insecurity, disappointment, fear, and all of those other little bad thoughts like pride and whatever. A prime example is, oh, I'm going to show them off. I am going to become the strongest and biggest guy in school to show them what exactly I'm made of. I'm going to prove that I'm not the loser they thought I was. Now, one of the good things about toxic fuel, yes, there is maybe a plus side, is that it is one of the best launch pads that anybody can use to get off their asses and start getting to work on themselves. I will admit, when I was angry at myself and at other people, feeling insecure, there was like a fire under my ass to actually get work done and start a workout. That was probably one of the most greatest experiences that I've ever had. Not that it was amazing, like to feel like it was a good thing, but that it changed my life, and I wouldn't change it for anything. But using it over a long period of time as your main source of fuel, that's gonna suck. Like, imagine the example I gave with, oh, I'm gonna show all those bullies who's boss. Well, you are only getting fit and looking good because you care about what they think. And pretty much it's gonna be like, you go to your bullies and you're like, hey, look how big I am. There's like, you did all that for us? You're such a loser. That is exactly what it's gonna feel like. This also doesn't apply just to working out. It also applies to studying as well. Because when you're a student, or if you are a student, you're in a constant state of fear, oh no, I'm going to fail, and relief, fear relief that the homework or the exam or the quiz is done. And then you go back to fear, and then you go back. You're in a constant state of stress and high adrenaline, and then relaxation. And you're just roller coastering back and forth. That's pretty hefty on like the friggin' mind. Have you seen students from Waterloo, first year, fourth year? They aged 30 years, man. That stuff's not good. But specifically when it comes to people getting an anime physique, because a lot of the times, the primary motivator for most of us when we're working out, especially guys, was someone broke our heart. I feel insecure. I need to do this or I won't be complete. Yada, 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 yada. You suddenly attach how you look with those toxic feelings. And if you look at yourself and you're like, I don't feel good, I'm not exactly what I want to be, like, because everybody goes through body dysmorphia, which is just you look in the mirror and you think you're worse than you actually are. That starts to fuel it even more. If you don't think you look the best, you start to think, wow, I was insecure. They were right about me, blah, blah, blah. And it feeds into itself. It's a self-feeding cycle. So how do you get rid of toxic fuel? Because I know most of you guys know what I'm talking about. You've probably gone through it before, and you might still be going through it. So how do you fix it? Well, I'll tell you exactly what I did. When I injured myself and I realized I'm using toxic fuel and this is not good for me, I knew I had to approach it differently. I knew that I was coming at it from a place of self-hatred and insecurity. So what I had to do was flip it on its head. I need to approach it with more self-love and self-development rather than self-destruction. Like, people talk about destruction of the old self, which is great, but again, that all goes into like the launch pad phase of your workout routine. So one of the first things that you can do to get rid of toxic fuel and start using a more positive fuel source, a more positive motivator, is just by having a way to enjoy the process by itself rather than worrying about the results of the process. Because when we have toxic fuel, it's all about, I need to get this size of muscle, I need to be this strong. But we never think about, how can I enjoy this a bit more? How can I have a little more fun with it? And how can I do this process because I love it, not because I want to get to a certain goal? And this is all about intrinsic motivation, as opposed to extrinsic motivation, which is more about the physique and stuff. Intrinsic motivation is more so about the process, and that comes with intrinsic goals. So instead of having a goal of, oh, I need to get to this weight, I need this amount of muscle, you can say, let's go on a workout streak. Like, let's not stop working out for maybe 6 weeks, and we'll see how that goes. Or let's find a cooking method, a meal prep method that I enjoy, where the food is good, it's convenient, it's easy to manage, all that stuff. Because when you're focused not on the intrinsic goals, but on the extrinsic, that's when people start to do even more dangerous things. That's when people start to do things like anabolic steroids, tren. They do, what other steroids are there? I don't know that many. Anavar, or whatever the hell Togi's on. You start to worry about just the outside appearance, that you'll do anything to get that physique. And I'm not dogging on people who take steroids, unless you're lying about it. What I'm saying is steroids are probably a bad idea. They're cool, but they're a bad idea. And when you're in a state of, oh, I just care about my appearance to cover my crippling insecurities, I want all of the muscle to smother my sadness, it's very easy to get on that slippery slope. Now, intrinsic motivation is powerful, but it's not the only way. In fact, here is a fun fact for you. There's a lot of people who think that, oh, exercising makes me happy. I feel joy when I exercise. But according to brain science, that's actually not true. As it turns out, working out doesn't increase overall happiness. It just decreases unhappiness. Apparently, people who enjoy going to the gym tend to be on the unhappier side of things. Honestly, based on everything we've talked about and what I know, that just makes a lot of sense. But this is also a good thing, because we can just find other avenues to decrease unhappiness. For example, if you got these feelings, bro, talk them out, man. Just get on the couch with your homies and just be like, guys, I don't feel freaking good. There's some stuff I got to get off my chest. Something that I neglected to do when I was in a state of despair and loneliness and insecurity. I never sat down with my homies and was like, friggin', I feel horrible. Something I wish I did. Probably would have saved me tons of time. One of the things I definitely wish I had was some form of community or something, some people to talk to. Like in Shonen Strength, you've got people coming out with their own personal problems. They're sort of opening up and sharing their issues, personal issues, whether that's their insecure, their other emotional side. And everybody in that community is probably some of the most positive people I've ever freaking met. Because whenever someone posts something, they're like, oh, I'm going through something, people are like, don't worry, I got you. I've went through this before. I went this and that. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about funny. Let's talk about something funny. Like I was on a call and we're talking about the most insane, crazy topics. Friggin' play the clip. I'm doing Muay Thai. It's like Muay Thai, Dagestan, how to get better in Muay Thai,
Dagestan.
and also this one, which is RFK Jr. saying, I'm declaring a war on fat gay kids. I really wanted to find this video. This is so hilarious, actually.
I'm declaring war on fat gay kids. Not the kids themselves, but on whatever's making them so fat, gay, and pathetic.
That's it. That's all I want.
AI. That's AI. There's no way.
Having some true homies can really decrease that unhappiness and help mitigate all of those effects of the toxic fuel. So start getting into community. You can join the Shonen Strength one if you want. Basically find some buddies to work out with so you have a new fuel to replace your toxic one, and start enjoying the process of getting the anime physique. Because if you don't enjoy it and you're using this toxic fuel, you're gonna get destroyed. It's happened to me. I don't want it to happen to you. So once you're comfortable, once you're ready, you got rid of that toxic fuel, and you want to learn how to get the anime physique, you can watch this video right here to learn how you can achieve it in as little as 90 days.